Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me. I've got the November astrology overview. Well, it's somewhat quieter this month because we don't have all the supermoons and eclipses going on that we have had running pretty hot and fast since August, September, October. So we don't have any of that. However, we do have a very rare but a very powerful aspect pattern called the Seer. So I'm going to talk about that in the overview, along with all of the other planetary movements that are going to influence us during the month. Let's go to the board now and I'll show you all about this. The first thing to note is that we've got this thing called the Seer. And the Seer has got heaps of triangles within it. So you can see this way there's a triangle which is a minor grand trine, that way. You can see this way that there's a minor grand trine. You can see a mystic rectangle there. You can see a grand trine that way. And so there's a lot going on with it. It's very complicated. All of the star signs have got this Seer pattern, with the focal point being Neptune. This is a very spiritual influence for everybody this month. So Neptune can sometimes not only be very spiritual, but unfortunately sometimes can lead to confusion and delusion, or looking at the world through rose-coloured glasses, perhaps seeing people in idealistic terms, not who they really are, but who we want them to be. And then what happens is sometimes we come down to earth with a bit of a thud when we realise that that's not who they are. What we thought isn't correct. So take off your rose-coloured glasses this month is my advice. But all of these planets here, Uranus, Mars, I can't even see what that one is under there. I think it's supposed to be Mercury actually. Mercury and also Pluto are funneling their energy towards Neptune, regardless of what house Neptune's in. But for Aries, it's in the 12th house. So that is even more subconscious spiritual energy going to Neptune here in the 12th house for Aries. So we always set Aries on the eastern horizon. So the Seer pattern, what does it mean? Well, obviously it's called the Seer. So that suggests that it could be enhancing, increasing your psychic ability, if you have any, but most definitely your intuition. That's the first thing. It also brings a lot of opportunities because you've got all these sextiles and trines, and they're very easy flowing energies that sort of help you out without too much effort. It's a great pattern for encouraging you to take the path of least resistance. Go the easiest way. You do have two oppositions there, which is not easy. They present challenges, and that'll be Uranus and Mercury, and also Pluto and Mars. And Uranus and Mercury could be rather unexpected communications about finances or shared resources or intimacy. Pluto and Mars could be arguments that are very transformative. They have a deep, compelling effect deep within you. Mars can be a bit aggressive sometimes, and it'll be in different areas of life for different zodiac signs. So that's the first thing to note. The next thing to note is the new moon is going into Scorpio on the 1st of the month. The new moon here brings new beginnings, but intense beginnings. You may have new insights. You may also become aware of secrets or hidden things, but it's generally a favourable type of energy. It brings a lot of positivity. It's great for instigating new starts and stuff like that. I should have drawn the two cards first for the month. I'll do that now before I carry on. The first card for the month, what do I see for the month of November? Oh, yes, it's election time, isn't it? We're having an election on Saturday here in Queensland, and in the US in November, of course, is the big federal election. Let's see, doors opening. Oh, yeah, that's a bit aggressive, that one. The card that comes out overall for everybody is healing. The Two of Cups, things coming together even if there are sections of society that are bucking up and not happy about the outcome, things are coming together. It's not about division, it's about unity. This is good news. Relationships could also become softer or more understanding, and this healing takes fair. Actually, it's interesting, I've pulled this card because last night there was a big snake trying to break into my chicken coop. I always check the chickens on CCTV before I go to bed at night, and even though they're in their coop and they're locked up, I always just check. And I saw on the outside of the coop there was a snake trying to get in the door. So of course we had to go out there and remove the snake. It was a big python, and take it away. So when you see a snake, it's telling you that healing is at hand. So that's the first vibe. Actually, what I'll do is I'll put that here. There's more space just there. That's the first thing. First half of the month, healing is at hand, despite whatever election outcome it is. And people have asked me, and I do believe it's Harris. And I'll just ask, I've got light going all over the place, so I've got my eyes closed, and it's like flashes of blue light, like electricity. So Uranus could have a play there. You know, Uranus is usually volatile and rebellious, so yeah, it mightn't be easy, but then the healing starts. So I got the feeling there's something unexpected with Uranus. You can say you expect this, and this, but with Uranus, it could be something totally different. Now, the second half of the month, what do I see? A book being cut in half. I'd got no idea what that means. Somebody's life book being cut in half. So when we come here, we bring our book of life. But cutting it in half is like I'm getting rid of the karma, or I'm getting rid of destiny even, and I'm going to write my own ticket and be free and do what I think is right. And this is the Nine of Wands, and it suggests that you could be feeling very tired and almost to the point of exhaustion. You probably need a rest, and not just you personally, but the whole world. It's probably a collective kind of tiredness that's been going on and on and on for too long, and we're just sick of hearing about it. But it will be over soon, because it's a 9. So Nine of Wands is like you might have had some inspiration before, but things have just just went on and on and on. So you've got some strength left, but it's like there's a bit of a struggle with it. A Nine of Wands sometimes means victory after struggle. So you'll get there, you'll get what you want in the end, basically, but it's a struggle. I think that has some sort of definite correlation for the election coming up in the US, the Nine of Wands. Back to our chart here, I already talked about the new moon, Mars going into Leo. So Mars in Leo is full on, there's a lot of energy. It can be almost like being in the spotlight or being on stage. I guess our equivalent today would be more about being on social media, being online, getting our face out there, a lot of energy, a lot of ambition. It's important that you also listen to people as well, because you might have a lot of energy for getting your message out into the world, but not necessarily for listening. So yeah, conversations are two-way generally. They're the ones that work the best. So do watch that you listen. And also watch your voice, because Mars really can affect your voice and make your voice more powerful than what you think. So it could sound louder, or it could be more impactful on people listening to you. So Mars into Leo, it's great for getting things done. That's on the 8th that happens. I missed here Mercury into Sagittarius on the 2nd. This is sort of excited type of communications about adventure, travel, also about enlarging your life, having a bigger vista, a bigger horizon, and communicating about it. You might also buy goods, indulge in some transactions, because Mercury does look after credit cards and debit cards and transactions, and buying things where you can get more excitement in your life, or maybe go camping or go travelling or something like that. Then we have Venus into Capricorn. This brings a lovely sort of steadiness to relationships. If you're in a relationship, it might go to a deeper, more committed level. If you're in a pre-existing relationship, you could renew your vows. You might have a child, you might buy a house together, do something together that's more committed than usual. But it's a beautiful physical sign of a relationship in Capricorn. If you're not in a relationship, it could be that a casual liaison becomes less casual and there's more commitment there, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn loves to have things stable and secure, and Capricorn tends to be more cautious and doesn't like just freewheeling it. They like things sort of more secure. Then we have Saturn going direct on the 15th, and I should say Venus in a Capricorn was on the 11th. Saturn going direct is on the 15th, and it might be that you get a schedule or you get some sort of structure around your life. So instead of just thinking about things, because when it's retrograde we tend to internalize the energy, instead of that it's like moving forward at a gradual pace, step by step. So it's a time for ambitions, it's a time for leadership, it's a time for physically doing things and achieving things. Now, on the 15th, when's that? Yeah, 15th, the full moon is in Taurus. So this brings a sense of reliability, a sense of loyalty, wanting to accomplish things on the physical plane. Also, luxury type items appeal to Taurus. Taurus is a very sensual sign. They often are involved with things like massage as well. And the full moon here might bring up some energy within you, sort of saying, go and have a massage. You need to relax more. But reliability is the name of the game. And also being careful and organised with finances. They're an earth sign, Taurus, so they don't like sudden moves. They like things to be grounded and practical. The 19th sees Pluto going into Aquarius finally. So for the next 20 years until March 2044. That's a very long time, and it's going to see a humongous lot of changes in the house where it appears. So for Aries, that would be in the 11th house of hopes and dreams, but also friends, groups and connections. Now, it can dredge up some really deep, dark things. So if you've had a history of abuse or addiction, anything where you've been manipulated, that could come to the surface again, and you might have to deal with that again in some way. But on the positive side, because all the planets have positive and negative effects, on the positive side, it's also births, and there might be a death, but then there's a birth, and it's a renewal or rejuvenation of a situation. But usually the second time it comes around, it's better, it's improved, it's enhanced. And so that's the good effect. In Aquarius, of course, it could be involving science, humanitarianism, technology. It could be quite a deep, sort of intense relationship, for example, where you're really going to the bottom of your subconscious, and so is the other person. So there's this great, huge attraction. It's more powerful, and even though it goes for 20 years, there are times in that 20 years when it's more powerful than other times. So when a planet does actually change sign, that is one of the sensitive points. So we're coming close enough. We're close enough for that to be an orb now. So even though it's technically on the 19th of November, because Pluto usually only moves 1 to 1.5 degrees per year, it's already in orbs. So you might have already experienced some letting go, some deaths, some saying goodbye to the past, or you may have alternatively experienced some new births of some kind. The sun is going into Sagittarius, so happy birthday to all Sag. That's on the 21st of November. This is a very excitable, adventurous type energy. There's insight and awareness here. Your spirituality increases. The sun in Sag, it's also about the higher mind, thinking, studying. It's philosophy as well as spirituality. travel, especially long distance travel, could be on your agenda. You might be thinking of going overseas. The other thing to mention here also is that Mercury is going retrograde on the 25th of November until the 15th of December. So it usually brings miscommunications and misunderstandings. It's not a good time for travel in those dates because often things run late, and if you've got different legs in your itinerary, the whole itinerary could get mucked up. So you want to leave plenty of time between legs if you are travelling. It's not a great time to sign a contract because you might have to go back and revisit it at another date. But on the upside, it is a fabulous time to finish off anything you started before the 18th of November, because there's a week shadow period before the 25th, and there's also a week, as in WEEK, shadow period between the 15th of December and the 22nd of December. And it does gradually get weaker as the shadow period moves on. So by the 22nd of December, it's all over, Red Rover for Mercury retrograde. So if you started something before the 18th of November, then you might go back to it now and finish it off, because it's about completing things. When Mercury turns direct, you'll probably feel it, and you'll feel like activities are moving forward again and you can get on with your life. All right, so that's it. I hope this is useful. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me today. Leave a like and a comment, that would be fabulous. Or if you're new, subscribe and be alive. Thank you very much. I just want to wish you a very happy November. I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.